How's it going, folks? Hope you're all doing well out there. So I had a band actually reach out to me on Instagram and said, hey, we just released our first single from our first album that is coming out later this year. There's not an exact date yet from what I saw or whatnot, but it's coming out. And they asked, would you mind doing a reaction to our song? And I said, absolutely, I would love to. It would be my pleasure. So yeah, so that's what we're doing here today, folks. We're checking out a band called Charons, and the name of the song is Living in the Past. Yeah, like I said, this is the first here, the first single from the first album coming out. That's exciting, and that's about as much as I know. But the fact that it's here on the New Wave of Traditional Heavy Metal YouTube channel, that they're the ones that posted it for the band, I'm guessing that's the style that we're going to get here, which I'm down for. Yeah, let's check it out and see what we got, shall we? Rangers, go.
One step beyond the wheel of life keeps turning. Outcast in this world, my spirit regained its power. Free from the bonds of flesh, the earth has devoured. My soul spread its wings, wings that were on fire. I feel so relieved. To fly was my desire. Once I wanted to control my destiny. I never had a chance, something to believe. I wish I had it all. Dreams after all are free. The life I've never lived is gonna let me be. I let myself to follow the line, going in between my entering a hole true. Songs that make me smile, old tunes sounding sweet, sometimes make me weep. I'm here now with them, with them in a dream, holding each other's hand. I'll stay with you.
Interesting song there. Um, you know, I like the vocals. Yeah, I mean, the musicianship was really solid here. I like his voice. The guitar work was really, really good. The other elements, like I said, the musicianship, really good. They definitely know what they're doing. Um, you know, I think there was parts that I definitely really liked, but then there was parts that I don't know if it was necessarily like the structure of the song, or it seemed kind of like the pacing. I think it feels like all of the vocal lines, whether it be the verse, or like the pre-chorus or the chorus or what have you, that seemed like like the pacing or the vocal melody, it was kind of like the same almost all throughout. It starts to feel like, it's like my mind starts to wander a little bit because there's not enough of like a change. There's not like any real dynamic kind of going on. My favorite parts were, I think it's kind of like the pre-chorus or part of the chorus where he's singing and then you hear that kind of choir in the background. That was really cool. It adds a really nice element to it, and changes it up, and it creates a different feeling, for that moment. I really, really enjoyed that. That sounds great. That section, really loved that. And then I also really liked the bridge where everything gets kind of softer, and I really liked the guitar work in that little section, and the vocal, melody's a little different there. Everything just has like a little bit of a different sound. It kind of, it just, like I said, it's all about like that dynamic, and it just, adds a little something extra to the song, and it kind of keeps the listener engaged. And I feel like a lot of this song, it just, the listener isn't like fully just kind of engaged. And I'm not saying like a song has to just be completely, wild and crazy, but it just felt like the structure, or the pacing, like I said, it all kind of ran together in a sense. So, it just, feels like you're kind of just cruising along on just kind of like a static line. There's no real movement or anything like that. Because then there are spots where in between like the verses, then the guitar would pick up like a little bit, and then you kind of get engaged again, but then it would just kind of go back to how it is, just this relatively slow, methodical, just kind of delivery, with the guitar and the vocal melody and all of that. And so then I feel like the listener kind of just gets stuck back into that, just kind of, yeah, it's just interesting. Like I said, I just feel like through a lot of the song, my mind started to wander a little bit, just because it just all felt like it was just a lot of just like the same. What you hear in the first 30 seconds of the song is pretty much what you're getting throughout. But that's why my favorite parts is when the choir was kind of added for the one section, and the bridge, because even the second part, or the part of the chorus that immediately follows the choir part, that to me sounded just kind of like the verses again. So I just felt like that sound, there wasn't too much of a like a change, or too much of a, again, variety is the spice of life, as they say, and it just felt like everything was just relatively static, and so it was difficult to really get engaged in the song. But with that being said, though, I mean, the talent is definitely there. You can hear it, and there was moments that I really liked, where everything kind of came together, and really brought me in. But I just feel like too much of it was just kind of like the same thing, just kind of all throughout. So, that's all that I have to say about that. But I'm looking forward to seeing. This is the first single from the first album that they're releasing here, folks. So, I'm really curious to see what else they're going to be bringing us. Like we saw even in the video, the new album, or their first album, is to be announced. No exact date yet. So, I'm definitely gonna follow them and see what they release for us here in the future, because I'm really curious to hear more. You know, but this song per se didn't quite do it for me. But again, like I said, you can definitely hear the talent is there, and I'm just really curious to see what else they got for us. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all thought of this one. I'm really curious to see what y'all have to say, so let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. Ranger.